She is a well-traveled agent of all things here at Alethes Realty. She can talk to you about real estate. She can talk to you about the outdoors. She can talk to you about the Minnesota Vikings. Denise Barnett's up next on the Spotlight. From the studios of Alethes Realty in beautiful downtown Russellville, we welcome you into the Spotlight. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Drew Brent. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, give us a call today. It's 479-968-5668 or cruise on over to russellvilleliving.com. One of our fine agents, always ready, willing, and able to serve you. Again, 479-968-5668 or russellvilleliving.com. The market has never been better. Give us a call today. When you do give us a call, you might get this fine woman right here, Miss Denise Barnett. Denise, welcome back, ma'am.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
When we first started this show, you were on, it was like, we did like 5 minutes. Now it's morphed into this 30-minute talk format of all things, all times. So, I am interested to spend a little time with you today because our viewers do not know that you've been pretty much all over the country before you settled in Russellville. We're going to get to that in just a second.
Okay.
One thing that I do know about you, though, is you're a Minnesota Vikings fan.
Maybe. Maybe. It goes up and down every single Sunday.
Now,
or Thursday, tonight.
Depending.
Maybe.
She says tonight, as of this recording. We record this on a Thursday. The reason I bring this up is I have to break the ice somehow.
Right.
And as of this recording, what happened in the last Minnesota Vikings game?
Agony, pain, and defeat. Defeat. You just wouldn't want to be inside my house when the game's going on because there's a whole lot of yelling and screaming and tears and burning of Vikings clothes.
Right.
And then I pull them back out and then I put them back in.
Right, as the word says, weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yes.
Hey, you got to give some credit to Jared Goff, the Detroit Lions quarterback, for that throw. But
No,
we don't have to do that.
No, I don't.
Now that we have started this interview well and really gotten things, in an agonizing place, let's talk about something happier. Christmas is coming up.
Yes.
You strike me as the kind of person who just loves Christmas.
Love it.
Am I on the right track?
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Do you have some Christmas holiday traditions?
I do. I have 3 girls and my husband, and we love Christmas. And so we sit down, and it's getting crazier because everybody's got their own schedules. My girls are all in their 20s. And so getting everybody together and doing these traditions is a challenge, but we make sure that we do it. And so we have a movie day where we eat popcorn and hot chocolate, and we watch White Christmas, which is favorite, with all the old-time actors. And then we also watch It's a Wonderful Life.
Right.
And those are 2 huge things for us. And then we have a Christmas cookie exchange. You had said, that I've traveled around a lot. And every state that I've been in, we invite all the people we've gotten to know, and they bring cookies. And then we exchange cookies so that you can take a variety of cookies to an event. And it's so much fun.
Your Christmas traditions and our Christmas traditions are similar, but different. You're watching classy movies like It's a Wonderful Life, White Christmas. We are watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Die Hard. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
No.
All right. My follow-up to that is Go Packers. What kind of Christmas cookies?
Oh my gosh. One year we made, you take Oreo cookies and put them into balls, and then you drip the icing over top of it, and it's melted snowman. One time, my favorite one is the peanut butter one with the chocolate
Oh,
star
yeah.
on it. Love those. But when I do a Christmas cookie exchange, one of the states we're in, they come in with chocolate chip cookies. I'm like, that's not a Christmas cookie. And so I have now since made it to where when you come, you have to bring a creative Christmas cookie, and then I give a little prize. I love gifts. I love gifts. And so I have a gift at the end for the person with the most creative Christmas cookie.
All right, so are you quite the connoisseur in the kitchen, I'm assuming?
That's debatable. That's debatable. I love to bake. I love to grill. Not much of a cooker, but the other two I love.
What do you bake well?
Banana bread.
Really?
It's my thing, and Christmas cookies.
You introduced me to something I had never seen before, speaking of banana bread. During a sales meeting, we have a sales meeting every Tuesday here at Alethes Realty. And Denise brings in this contraption that looks like something out of the movie Saw, but it's a bread slicer. It's a banana bread slicer. You just you take it in there. I mean, and when we were growing up, you just took a knife and and you were done with it.
Squishes.
Right, and it squishes everywhere, and then you've got like this banana bread wad. This was
it's a nice little slicer, and it makes it the size you want it. Because you don't want a thick piece of banana bread when you only like a thin one. So you can cut as you go, and it's great for, I love to entertain. So it's great when you entertain because everybody likes a different slice, so.
When I met you, one of the first impressions I had was this woman has probably never met a stranger. I feel fairly certain in that.
No.
And two, I also felt fairly certain that you were outdoorsy. Am I right about that too?
Absolutely. I live on 11 acres, which I was so blessed to find here. And it's got a big, huge pond, probably an acre. And I have 3 dogs and 2 cats. And if you ever go to my personal Facebook, you'll see them all the time because I just love it. And they swim, and there's, it's just so much fun. In fact, I don't care the size of my house as much as I do that the property's beautiful, and I've really been blessed with that.
And you're an animal lover.
Oh, love my animals.
How many
Love
animals?
them.
How many animals do we have?
I have 3 dogs, 2 catahulas, and a little yippy something or another. She's so cute. And then 2 cats.
I'm not going to mention what kind of bird it was.
Yes, quite the story.
But you have an interesting story as it pertains to one of your dogs and a giant bird.
Yes. My little dog is a Shih Tzu Pomeranian, so she's a teensy thing, and she's only about 5 months old. And I was sitting outside talking to a client from Kansas City that's coming here to Russellville, and I looked up.
And you're recuperating from hip surgery too at this point.
Yes. So taking things a little slower than I normally do. And can I mention the bird?
You can.
So a big, huge bald eagle with long wingspan comes flying in, and I'm on the phone, and I scream, and I drop the phone, and I run because I see it's going after my dog. And so I run out there, and I'm hobbling, not really running, and I'm going for the dog, and the dog thinks we're playing, so it's running away from me, and I can't bend down to pick it up. So I look up, and I wave my arms really high, and that bald eagle, I swear it was 2 feet from me. Coming after me or the dog, I wasn't quite sure, but scared me to death.
It's very rare that you see the symbol of freedom in America coming down to go get your puppy.
Yeah.
So nice job on, waving your arms and flailing them about to make sure that your Shih Tzu Pomeranian was safe. And nothing happened to the dog, right?
No.
She was none the wiser.
No. Except she got spankings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she got plenty of spankings.
Hey, stop that.
Yeah. But I was disappointed in the fact that I had to go run back, find my phone, talk to my client, and say, hey, did you hear me screaming? And I didn't get to see the beauty of the bald eagle. I love them. They're beautiful. And it was so amazing that was right here in Russellville. But I didn't care. I just cared about saving my darn dog.
You love Russellville.
Yeah.
You have said that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And even in our private conversations, you've talked about, this place is, I just loved it. Um, where else have you been?
I have lived in Texas, Colorado, Maryland, Missouri, Minnesota. I think that's it.
Was Minnesota the first one? Is that where the Vikings fandom comes from?
It's
And
where
also
I-
the slight accent?
yeah. It's where I grew up, and there's so much outdoor stuff to do there. It's really great, but you have to put on 50 layers of clothes. And I did talk to a sister of mine last night, and they're at 20 degrees. And
Ugh.
I was like, oh, I'm not missing that too much. Because when we lived there, I grew up there, but then we went back for a stint because my husband works for Nuclear. He actually works for Arkansas Nuclear now, which is what brought us here. And he went there to interview, and it was 50 below. He said, if I get out and run to that door and it's locked, we're not moving there. I tried to tell him.
Right, exactly.
I tried to tell him.
Of the states that you lived in, excluding Arkansas, because I'm assuming that Arkansas is the favorite.
For sure.
Of the other states, which one was the favorite?
I would have to say Texas, and the reason being is because we didn't have kids at the time. My husband sang country music. I was like the best roadie ever, and I loved it. I loved to go into the dance halls, loved dancing, loved listening to my husband sing, and it was a unique state.
That brings me to a question that I had intended on asking a little bit later, but it's a good segue here. Your husband was he was a touring musician.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yes. It was, this will date me, but it was back in '89. He started singing, and he only sang in the car to me, and so I never even thought that we would move to Texas and he would start singing. And for our anniversary, we went to Branson, Missouri, because we lived in Colorado at the time. So we traveled to Branson, and he sang a song and put it on a little cassette for me. And they played it on the streets in Branson. And so about a month later, he said, I think I want to start a band. I was like, what? And so he started a band. We moved to Texas. He was #1 band in this battle of the bands that they did, and he opened up for Toby Keith and Waylon Jennings, and we had a blast. It was so much fun.
My parents were touring musicians before I was born, all over the country.
Right.
Wyoming to Texas, as far west as California, and as far east as I think Alabama, just all up and down the area. That life, when you are a kid, you dream about that, especially as a young guitar player, a young musician. You dream about, man, going all across the country and playing music and that kind of thing. There's some ups and some downs in that.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I ran health clubs at that time, and so I would work 12-hour days. And so getting off at 9 o'clock at night, just in time to race to one of his singing shows. And so it was crazy. And then we would go until 2 o'clock in the morning. And he would sing 60 songs because he was the singer, and the band really didn't sing a lot. The band was interesting, though, because they had hair down to their butt. And they were more rock and roll, changed to country. And they were so much fun, but I didn't care because I could dance the whole time. And my husband's a singer, but not a dancer, so we both had a lot of fun. But the challenge is when you're starting out, you don't make a whole lot of money for all the traveling you do. And, but my kids now, when you talk about young ones, my 3 girls hate it. They're like, why don't you play now? Because after he opened up for Toby Keith, he was asked by Toby's record label at the time to consider coming and talking to him. But then he said, nope, I want a family. And so he stopped singing. My girls are so mad.
Well, I mean, and we've had a lot of musicians on the show. And a lot of them are very close, dear personal friends of mine.
Uh-huh.
One of which is Nathan George over at Joshua's Fine Jewelry.
Uh-huh.
Before he committed full time to doing that, Dark from Day One, he was the front man for Dark from Day One. They played Edge Fest. They played all over. They had record labeled. They had deals in place, rated rock and roll.
Yeah.
In fact, and Nathan, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong on this in the comments. I'm pretty sure he's on the video game Rock Band in Europe.
Wow.
I mean, because they were going,
Yeah.
they were going all over.
Awesome.
But it came down to a decision, like, do you want this life,
yeah.
or do you want this life?
Right.
Looking back, when that decision was made, were you thinking, what are we doing?
Oh. I absolutely wanted him to continue singing. I love country music, and it was really hard for me to kind of grow up because we were having so much fun singing country music, but my husband's a very wise man, so he knew that it was time. He went back to get his electrical engineering degree, and, I guess we had to settle down, but I was a good roadie. I learned how to wrap the chords the right way, not this
Right,
way.
don't
but you got to
ever
do
do
it the
that.
right way. I was good at that,
Don't
but
Ever. If you see somebody doing this, you push them off the stage.
I know.
That's what you do.
His band members were very much so prima donnas, and I thought that they were going to blow a gasket when I first did that. They were like, absolutely not, so, but we had a lot of fun.
So you settle down.
Mm-hmm.
You have kids.
Yes.
Tell me about those first days and the adjustment of going from, hey, we're traveling country music band to, holy cow, I'm a mom now.
Yeah. Gosh, I love my kids. I will tell you a funny story is because we weren't in an area where there was a lot of country music places to go dance. We had one, and I would always take them there on Sundays, and we would dance. But one of the things that we loved to do is no matter what house we had, we'd have a center island, which is the beginnings of a dance floor.
Right.
And so I would teach them how to two-step, and we would do the whole swing dance and all that. And one of my favorite memories is they were 8, 5, and 4. So they would stand in a line, and I'd have to do the hip to hip and swing them up and all of that. And after a while, oh my gosh, they got so tall and big. I'm like, we can't do that. So now what I did is I found a really cute little plaque. It says, "This kitchen is made for dancing." And that's what we do. We've danced all the time, and we love it.
Are your kids musical?
Well, I have got the cutest video. When my oldest was in 5th grade, her and my husband did a duet, and it was a George Strait song, and it was cute as could be. But other than that, we just sing around the house and little guitar, a lot of singing, a lot of dancing.
The fact that your husband did all that was actually hidden talent. I had no idea. I mean, I knew he sang, but I didn't know to the extent that what he sang. Do you have any hidden talents?
Not singing. Not singing. No, I think hopefully it's not hidden talent, but I think my gift is hospitality. I love giving gifts. I love entertaining. I love people, so, I guess maybe a hidden talent because I hadn't done it in a while because, like you said, I had some hip surgeries, but I have taught yoga forever, and I just love it. I think it's such a good thing to keep people physically fit, strong core, that kind of stuff. So,
you told me privately before that you think one of your gifts is to talk about how good Russellville is.
yes,
You've been all over the country, and you have just raved about how wonderful this city is.
Yeah.
I know that. I've been here my whole life. I'd never go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Why do you love it here?
It is small town. Because we moved around a lot, we have gone to some really big places. Bel Air, Maryland was one of them. My oldest daughter graduated from there, 1,000 kids in her graduating class. She was just a number. She wasn't anybody. My middle daughter graduated in Missouri, and it was a small town that we lived in, but there was a couple hundred people in it. But my girls never felt entrenched, that this was a part. My husband is an Arkansas boy, and so he felt just so excited to be able to come back to his roots, and my girls love it here, and so we have really dug in. My oldest is an RN at St. Mary's here in town. My middle one is executive assistant to the governor, and then my little one is just coming back from a 6-month missions tour in Hawaii and then Turkey, and she'll be home on Wednesday, and her first thing she asked to do was all of our Christmas traditions. And so we're going to go up to Branson and experience the lights up there, and then we're going to come back and do all the Christmas fun things that we like to do. She missed the parade. She was sad about that,
but thankfully, if she goes to Facebook over and our Facebook archive, we've still got the live stream of the parade, hosted by myself and Johnny Story. Cheap plug.
Yeah. And we went to it last year, so or 2 years ago, I think it was, and she just loved it. So
we talked earlier about Christmas traditions. And I watch National Lampoon. You watch It's a Wonderful Life, and probably Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh,
and,
of course. Forgot that one.
Probably all of the ones that are, like the hallmarky, touch you in the heart kind of ones. And I'm not that guy. I love Christmas, but not those movies. Here's the question I asked, though. You said you've seen National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That movie is a standard in my family. We quote that movie year round. There is a character in that movie. His name's Cousin Eddie.
Yes.
Wears the bathrobe and the hat. And everybody's got a Cousin Eddie. Do you have a Cousin Eddie?
Do I have a Cousin Eddie?
You don't have to name names.
Oh, yes. I absolutely have a Cousin Eddie. Yes.
Any crazy Christmas stories?
So we have a tradition in our family in Minnesota that the very first time that you come with a new husband or wife, you have to do something crazy. And so for my husband, being an Arkansas boy, a little different than being a northern boy. And so the women all cooked, and then he was sitting down, enjoying himself, just talking. And the guys come in and threw the dish towels at him and said, "Come on, it's your turn to wash the dishes." And he was like, "No way." He did not think that he would have to get up and go and wash, but of course we were just teasing. We all love to do that family stuff. I'm one of 6 kids, and so all of them are girls except my one brother, and we've got a ton of family, and so he was a little overwhelmed. But then my youngest sister got married, and we made him go drive a snowmobile all around the property in just his skivvies.
Lord.
And it was cold, so I told my husband, I said, "You got out easy."
That's the equivalent of taking somebody snipe hunting here, isn't it?
Yeah. Ice fishing.
Ice fishing.
That's fun. That is really fun.
Is that a legitimate thing, or
a legitimate thing?
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, when we lived in Minnesota the last time when he did, I had a stint there as a contractor. We lived right next to the interstate that went up north. And so up north is where there's the land of 10,000 lakes, right? And you would see trucks pulling ice houses. And so people would have these little houses, and they would all be pulling them up north. And so you take these houses, you push them out into the middle of the frozen lake, you drill holes in them, you fish, and you proceed to just play poker and card games and drink and not really fish.
So, you're just, okay. Now here's the question I've had, and maybe this is the ignorance in me. The Discovery Channel has had a ice fishing show several years ago, and it looks like basically just little huts sitting out there on the frozen lake.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what bothered me about this, because the Arkansas boy in me says that don't look right. Building fires.
Right. Yeah.
on a frozen lake.
Yeah.
To me, that doesn't seem to bode well for the stability of your house.
Yeah.
Why do people do that? Is there a science behind it that I'm missing?
Well,
I feel like there probably is.
The ice is probably this thick. I mean, it is super thick, so you're not gonna break the ice. I mean, people take their vehicles out there. In fact, they have a huge winter carnival out there, and we play softball on ice. And they make ice sculptures, and then you'll see this lake, and it's just people everywhere with their ice, their houses, and ice fishing, and it's just everything.
I need to learn 3 new languages so I can say no to that 4 different ways.
Right.
I need.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I can quite nail the accent. We are talking to Denise Barnett. If you are interested in buying or selling your home, give her a call today. It's 479-968-5668. Cruise on over to russellvilleliving.com. Denise, here lately on the show, I've been wrapping the show up one way. And I've done it with all of the agents so far, I think maybe except for one. None of the agents, here's full disclosure here, folks. There were very few agents that actually wanted to sit in this chair. All right, I mean, and I get it. It's a little nerve-wracking. So to offset that, the fact that I'm asking you to come and be on the hot seat, the fact that I'm coming and asking you to do this uncomfortable thing, for the last 5 minutes of the show, what I've been doing is saying, okay, you host. You can take this show in whatever direction you want to. You can ask me horrible questions. You can make me leave the room. Whatever you want to do, because it's all fair in love and war. So, Denise, the spotlight is on you. It's your show. See, not as easy as it looks, is it?
Definitely not. So, Drew, tell me about the pickle show.
Oh my God, I knew you were going to do that. When Jamie was on here, she asked about the time I split my pants in the studio, and now you're going to ask about Pickles McGee. All right, here's what happened. A couple months ago, I got asked to speak for Career Day at Dardanelle 3rd grade. And we did it over Zoom because we were still in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
And the kids were just loving it. We were showing them all the cameras. And I mean, you can't see it in these shots, but this studio is fairly expansive for what it is. We've got several monitors back over through this way, TVs and lights everywhere else. So the kids just thought, oh man, this is awesome. So while we were in the middle of this, I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if I let them write a commercial? So I asked them, I said, almost like Mad Libs. Yeah. If you ever played Mad Libs as a kid, I mean, this was kind of what we did was, all right, you guys think of a name. You guys think of a, whatever.
Right.
What I didn't anticipate was that they would come up with one of the funniest videos I've ever done. And it was just because it was so innocent. Yeah. So instead of me being Drew, I had to be a character named Pickles McGee. Who did a little dance. Yes. I had dancing pickles behind me. One kid told us that our marketing pitch should be, if you buy a house from us, it will guaranteed never to be nuked, which is not a bad sales pitch. It's not true, but it's not a bad sales pitch. And so now in my home office, after that aired, Denise gets me a little plaque almost thing. It's not really a plaque so much as it is like a little stand-up deal. And in my home office at home, there's a picture of a pickle right beside my computer. It says, "You're kind of a big dill." That's what she's referring to. This was really when we were starting this thing out. Yeah. We were in, I think this was April, May, somewhere in there, when we were really just trying to take off with the video side of things. It's one of the biggest videos we ever did because of how just
kids are awesome, and they just say the funnest things. But what really was interesting to me, Drew, is you said that the pickle did a dance. Is that correct?
We had dancing pickles behind me, yes.
Okay, I would love for you to show me how the pickles danced. Come on, everybody. We want to see Drew do the pickle dance. Come on, it's my show. I need you to roll just a little pickle dance for me.
I did it. I did this. All right. This was. Okay, we were not prepared for this. I'm literally adjusting this on the fly. You can see the microphones now. This was the pickle dance, all right?
I love it. I love it.
I cannot believe that's where you went with that. I actually can't believe that's where you went with that.
Yes. I told you I love dancing, and hey, you know, I might teach the Vikings how to do the Pickles McGee dance.
Yeah, they'd have to score first.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good way to wrap things up. What do you think?
Yeah.
Denise,
Well, I don't know.
Denise Barnett, guys, if you are interested in buying or selling your home, give her a call today. 479-968-5668 or cruise on over to RussellvilleLiving.com. Denise, what do you want the people of Russellville to know about you?
That I am on mission to learn everything I can about Russellville and entice my clients, you know, with how awesome it is and what a good city it is because of the people here in it.
All right. Outstanding, and I appreciate you being on the show. All seriousness, we do red chair testimonials here, and every single client that I've ever spoken to of Denise's has said some derivative of the sentence. She started out as my agent. She ended up as my friend. Call Denise today. That is our show here on the Spotlight. I cannot believe she made me do the pickle dance, so call her if you want to. 479-968-5668. Cruise on over to RussellvilleLiving.com. We'll see you right back here next time.